everyone. I'm Chris Kapches, President of Chestnut Park Real Estate, and this is my first report in 2020, and it's a good report at that. The market showed some incredible strength in January, much more than I think was anticipated, with sales up fairly substantially, and we saw the average sale price also rise fairly substantially. If there's a big story in the data that we have coming out of January, it's the lack of inventory. There were about 35% fewer listings available to the consumer at the end of January as compared to the end of January a year ago. Bit of a problem if you're a buyer, very hard to find what you're looking for. Some housing types in particular are even more difficult. I wouldn't quite call them unicorns, but they're getting there. Specifically, I'm referring to semi-detached properties. If you're looking for a semi-detached property in eastern districts or in the western districts of Toronto, they're practically non-existent. In January, about 90 semi-detached properties sold. That's correct, 90, that's a small number. And at the end of the month, we had approximately 90 listings for semi-detached properties. Very difficult to find, and when they do become available, it's not uncommon to see many offers for the same property. The reason for that is, in my opinion, the rise of the average sale price of condominium apartments. In the central core, condominium apartments came in at approximately $760,000. So the spread between condominium apartments and semi-detached properties has gotten relatively narrow. It's still about $250,000, but when you think of the difference between what you're getting for property type, namely a semi-detached property, yard, multiple rooms, all that sort of stuff, compared to a condominium apartment, spread is not that big. Consequently, people who might otherwise choose to buy a condominium apartment are now looking to semi-detached properties, making them the rarity that I just spoke about. A couple of other things that happened in January, which I think are positive for the market. The higher end of the market saw substantial gains, but 130 properties having a sales price of $2 million or more sold in January. That was quite a substantial increase compared to January of 2018 and 2019, so that's positive. That sector of the market lagged the sort of resurgence of the market that we saw in 2019. So it's great to see that happening. And an interesting note in that category is we actually saw about 13 or 14 condominium apartments valued at $2 million or more that made their way into that price category. So very strong market, but as I said, very difficult for buyers because of the lack of inventory. And creating inventory is not something that one can just snap their fingers and discover more properties. We need sellers to get their properties on the market in order for buyers to have more choice. There's a whole bunch of factors at play, some of which we don't even fully understand. Demographics, price points, and no place to move. That's making it difficult for sellers to put their properties on the market, and in turn, making it exceedingly difficult for buyers to get the properties that they're looking for. So if there's a message in all of this, it's we need more product. And that you may hear me say for every market report that I provide over the next few months, because I don't see that changing right away. Of course, what normally happens under these circumstances is lack of supply causes pressure on prices. So we will see pressure on prices, but in my opinion, I don't think prices will go up dramatically, because at an average sale price of around $850,000, even higher in the city of Toronto, closer to $900,000, I think the consumer has reached his maximum ability to stretch in order to buy the properties that they want. As I said, if you can find them. So those are the themes that we see emerging in January, and I suspect that we'll see them emerging in other months and create a pattern as we move our way through 2020. So I've provided more information on our blog. You're welcome to visit the blog and get the monthly market report. But until next month, and I'm so much looking forward to next month, because February is usually a month that starts telling the tale of how the rest of the market is going to unfold. So until next month, happy to provided you with this report, and I look forward to providing you February's report. Thank you.